Hey everybody, so with the Carolina Hurricanes win last night, that locks in another second round playoff matchup, this time the Central Division, where we now know that the Carolina Hurricanes will face off against the Tampa Bay Lightning in round number 2, and that means it is time for another series preview here. This is going to be a really good one. Two top teams in the league, the 1 seed Hurricanes against the 3 seed defending champion Tampa Bay Lightning. However, that 3 seed is a little misleading because the Lightning did not have Nikita Kucherov during the regular season. He is back and really playing as well as ever for the Lightning in his return in this postseason. And this is going to be a real big-time series, really close, fun series to watch, I think, between the Canes and the Bolts. So before we get into the full preview, I just ask that you please subscribe and hit that thumbs up if you haven't. It helps the channel so much and is greatly appreciated. But let's take a look. First, for the top seed Carolina Hurricanes. As we know, they went 36-12-8 in the regular season. 80 points, which won them the Central Division. Now, them and Tampa Bay had a very close season series during the regular season. Carolina went 4-3-1 versus the Lightning this year. And when we go over to the other side, as you'll see, the Lightning did the exact same thing. Carolina is coming off of a 4-2 6-game series win over the Nashville Predators, in which 4 of those 6 games went to overtime. So it was a very close, tough, hard-fought series with the Preds, but the Canes were able to come out on top and get the job done and pick up the series win in 6. And I think they gained a lot of valuable experience in that series. While it was a little bit closer and tighter than a lot of people imagined going into it, I think that might end up benefiting the Canes. And, just because they didn't walk all over Nashville isn't really a knock against the Hurricanes. I think it's more just shows how hard that Nashville was playing. And the fact that Carolina was able to come out and win that series, I think, is just really good experience for them, especially in those close overtime games. Hurricanes have a pretty good offense this season. Going back to their regular season numbers, they scored 3.13 goals for per game, which was 11th best in the NHL. However, where they really shine is defensively, keeping the puck out of their net. 2.39 goals against per game during the regular season, which was tied for 4th best in the NHL. So they are really good at not giving up a lot of goals. And they are also excellent on special teams. They're the 2nd-ranked power play in the regular season, 25.6%. Their penalty kill was also extremely good at 85.2%. which was 3rd best in the NHL. So Carolina really excels on special teams, and they can certainly use that to their advantage in a playoff series. Moving over to the other side now, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning, who went 36-17-3 in the regular season. 75 points on the year, which was good enough for 3rd in the division. However, like I said, they were missing Kucherov for the entire year, and he is back now. They went 4-3-1 versus Carolina in the regular season. So, as you can see, this was a very tight matchup in their regular season series. And they are also coming off of a 6-game series win, this time over the Florida Panthers. That was a crazy series between Tampa Bay and Florida. It was extremely physical. There was a lot of animosity between the teams. It was a very high-scoring series overall. There were a couple games that weren't as high-scoring, but there were also some games that were very high-scoring between those two. And Tampa certainly was able to put the puck in the net. They weren't as good defensively in that series against Florida as I was expecting them to be, but Florida is also a high-scoring team, so you got to give them credit for that. And again, between these two teams, I don't think it's going to be as high-scoring as the Tampa-Florida series was, because both of these teams can play very well defensively. In the regular season, Tampa Bay scored 3.21 goals for per game, which was tied for 8th best in the NHL. So they have a top 10 offense. They also have a top 10 defense. 2.59 goals against per game in the regular season, which was 6th best in the NHL. Obviously, they're pretty good at keeping the puck out of their net, and they happen to have one of the best goaltenders in the league in Andrei Vasilevskiy. Power play, pretty good for Tampa Bay, especially now with Kucherov back. In the regular season, they went 22.2%, which was 9th best in the NHL. Now you add Kucherov back into the mix, and that's probably a top 5 power play. Very, very good on special teams. And their penalty kill has been good all year long, 84.2% on the PK, which is 4th best in the NHL. So when we look at this matchup and we look at these two teams, they are extremely evenly matched. And we saw that in the regular season with them both winning 4 meetings. They both are coming off of 6-game series wins. Tampa probably has a slight edge offensively, but I would say that defensively, I would give a slight edge to Carolina. Now, as far as goaltending goes, as much as I love Alex Nedeljkovic and the way that he's played this year, I do think that Andrei Vasilevskiy gets the nod as far as goaltending is concerned. He's a Stanley Cup winner. He's a Vezina Trophy winner. He's been deep into the playoffs multiple times. He has that experience, whereas Nedeljkovic is just a rookie. And obviously getting his first taste here of NHL playoff action as a starting goaltender. And, he had a good series against Nashville. I think there were a little bit, there was a little bit of rookie in there where you were like, okay. And, Nashville scored some goals that he probably would have liked to have back. But overall, he did play very well in that series. And obviously, it was more than enough for the Canes to win it. And, he had a very solid series, just like he has had a very solid year. Andrei Vasilevskiy, on the other hand, some of the games against Florida, he was very, very good. Some of the games against Florida, he was definitely not at his best. And overall, he did give up quite a few goals over the course of that series. However, I do think that he got better as the series went on. And obviously, he pitched a shutout in Game 6 to finish off the Panthers. So in the last game, he was absolutely outstanding. And again, just because Florida was able to score some goals on him, I'm not overly worried about Vasilevskiy going forward. He's been here before. He knows what it takes to win in the playoffs. And, he's a goaltender that I really trust a lot. And I think he's going to get better as the playoffs go along, like he got better as the Panthers series went along. So, obviously, this is going to be a really, really good series. I mean, you got two of the best teams in the league. You've got a lot of talent on both of these rosters. They both have great decors that can really shut down the opponent. They both have very good goaltenders. They both can score goals when they need to. Obviously, I think Tampa has a little bit of an advantage in the scoring department, but Florida's got a lot of talent there with, Aho, Svechnikov, Teravainen, Nichis, Niederreiter, Trocheck, Stahl. They've got guys that can put the puck in the net. And the other thing is that both of these teams can play a very gritty, hard-working, hard-hitting style of game as well. I mean, if you watched any of the Tampa Bay-Florida series, I mean, that was, as close to a 90s style playoff series as you're probably going to get in the modern NHL. I mean, those two teams absolutely hate each other. It got downright dirty at times. There was a lot of nastiness between those two. Tampa can play that way. Tampa is one of the toughest teams in the league, and they are not going to shy away from that physicality. Carolina is what I would kind of call a sneaky tough team. They don't have a lot of guys that drop the gloves a lot. They don't have really fighters, but they can grind it out, and they can win board battles. They can throw big hits. They can play the rough, physical playoff style of hockey that you need to win in the postseason, and they're not going to shy away from that. Some at points in that series against Nashville, things got pretty testy between those two teams as well, and Carolina is not going to back down from that. So I think this is going to be a physical series, maybe a little bit more physical than most people are expecting going in. I think it's going to be a very close series. I think this is an incredible matchup. It's going to be super fun to watch. There's a ton of talent throughout the lineup on both of these teams, and I am really, really looking forward to seeing these two face off. So Carolina, Tampa Bay, round number 2 to make it to the Final Four and represent the Central Division in the semifinals this year, and a chance to continue their journey towards the Stanley Cup. This is going to be a really, really good one. For a prediction, I'm going to go Tampa Bay. No, I'm going to go Carolina in 7. I'm not going to stray away from my bracket here. Tampa has just as good of a shot to win this series. I think this is a complete toss-up series, but I think this is a year that Carolina really makes a deep run. I think they're ready. I think that they've got the team that can do it. I'm going to go with the Carolina Hurricanes in 7 games over the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I think that they are going to represent the Central Division in the Final Four. Again, this is a toss-up series. Either team can win it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for it to get started. And I'm going to be watching as many of these games as I possibly can. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon merchandise store, donation link, and channel memberships down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.